morning. We are off to put anhydrous on. Dad's off with the sprayer. He's spraying the wheat for those army worms that we have. We've got that one field that I replanted part of it early, and then we came back and finished the replant later, the last that we did. We got to get the early side of that stuff side dressed because some of that corn that we didn't replant down there is getting really tall. So we're gonna go do that. There's only about 30 acres there anyway, and Phil did a little bit of it last night, running out that tank that he finished with. So this tank will more than do that. And then there's a field right across the road. It's kind of a similar situation where we only replanted the back half and not the front, and the front is really good black muck soil where the corn grows fast. So we're gonna do at least that portion of it. And then we've got a field 10 miles off one direction that we started over on, that we're going to go there this afternoon. So that's the plan. Off we go. So this field that I'm in here is right next to that field that I made a video of when we were side dressing that and said it was some really good looking corn, like almost perfect. Yeah, that's that field right in front of us. It still looks pretty darn good out across there. Here's that spot where that big ditch was before. Dad did get it filled in pretty good with that little dirt pan that we had. So that's good. Still got to slow down and be careful going through here though, because it's uneven. I don't want to break something because I hit it too hard. But we are able to go through it. So this corn right here is the reason that we're in this field right now. This is some of the biggest stuff we've been in yet. It's brushing on the bottom of the axles there on the tank, and this corn's got to get done now. We've still got a little bit of time yet. I mean, it could get a touch taller, but not much before you're going to start bending it over and breaking off plants as you drive over it. So that is why we decided to come here now. Okay. We're done with this portion of the field. Here, I'll show you my map. So we did all of this up here. Well, Phil did a little bit of it last night. The rest of this field down in this area is the stuff that was the last stuff that we replanted. So we'll get to that, but not today. Right now, we're going to jump across the road and do that field over there. Tree branch. Wowza, that's 24 rows. That's 60 feet off the edge of the field. That is a long ways for that thing to fly. We must have had one heck of a windstorm come through. Well, I got that stuff cleaned up. Here's one of them corn plants. There's a couple of them here that are ahead or taller. You can see this leaf right here. This is that first leaf, and that brown on the end is frost damage from way back when we had that frost. But we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and just getting the 7th leaf collar out right there. So this is V6 to V7 corn, maybe 18 inches tall or so, and that one looks really good. It's too bad the rest of the field doesn't all look like that, but take what you can get, I guess. Time for a tank change. Okay, there is about 25 acres left in this field, which we will get done with this tank. I didn't think we would have enough with just these 2 tanks, so we'll finish this, and then we'll probably jump back across the road, find one of the spots in that field that we were just in that did not get ripped out, and that there's at least some tall corn in there, and run the tank empty, and then we're going to move to that other field. Well, I'm just finishing this field up. I hate when I have these point rows like this, because the rows aren't straight. So now that half of the bar is not following the rows, and it's taking out the corner, and there's nothing that I can do about it. Oh well. Anyway, come on. This field looks really pretty. It's a crappy farm. But boy, that going up that slope in the back, you get those nice straight lines and corn rows, and where we had worked up from putting the anhydrous on, it sure looks nice. Okay, got that field done. I jumped back across the road. We were over there. Yeah, we did that over there earlier this morning. I'm just gonna run this tank out over on this south end of this field where the corn is a little bit bigger, taller. Stuff didn't get replanted quite as much as it did back over in that area. So I'll show you, when I find some, I'll show you some of that replant corn that we put in here, and it's how small it is and why we're not just gonna do the whole thing right now. But anyway, I just want to get this tank empty because the next field that we're going to is 10 miles away, and I'm not dragging a half-empty tank over there. You guys remember that collapsed tile that I showed you a few days ago? This is that field. It's over there, and I don't know if you can see these flags, but they're gonna replace that tile. The white flags that run right through the center of that big low ground wet hole that we farm around are the existing tile. These red flags that kind of run around the side of it was where they're going to put the new one in. So that's another reason that I'm not going to do this whole field right now. And also right there, you can't even see it, but that's basically what our replant corn looks like right now. Fortunately, I finally got my low tank volume code, and we don't have to do too much to have it empty. Okay, we are empty. I don't know how much we did here. 3.5 rounds. Not a lot, but here's what our replant corn looks like at the moment. You can see just 2-leaf stage. Don't even have a leaf collar above ground yet, or maybe there's one there, but that's what I would call VE corn, E for emergence. The V in that staging is vegetative. Once it enters reproductive stages, and we call it R stage. But anyway, we'll go over that some other time. So you can see them, that row of white flags right through the center over to that is where our existing collapsed tile is. We're gonna go kind of around that with the new one and not go straight through the center of that low ground. So hopefully it maintains its grade a little bit better and it doesn't settle. But anyway, there's over here where this have to come to. There's a county main down in there. They got it dug up, but they don't have a hole in it. I don't know how big that tile is, but it's big. I don't know if it's a 24-inch right there. Old, I think it's concrete. It might be clay, but it's old and it runs that way. Well, it actually flows that way, but yeah, that's a big one. Anyway, we're going to fold up, head back to the farm, drop this empty tank, hook up to a new tank, head to that next field that's 10 miles away. Okay, tank change complete. Let's head down the road. I'll put my GoPro up right up there. Can you see it? Yeah, it's up there. I can't point right, but it's up there. And I've always kind of wanted to do that. Put the GoPro up on high on the anhydrous bar that sticks up above the tractor cab going down the road. See what it looks like. I don't know. We'll do a little time lapse right here. For a lunch break. Made it to the field. I can get my camera before I lose it. I pulled in and thought, why would he put that tank there? And then I looked at that tire. That's not right. Must have blew out when he was pulling in or going down the road or something. So yeah, no good. So we replanted probably at least 90% of this field, but right back here in this corner was a little bit of decent corn, and you can see how much bigger it is. It looks good. Too bad the whole field wouldn't have been like that. What are you gonna do? It's like Phil's getting that tire changed. Had a hose pop off. Seems like no matter how fast I catch it when that happens, it always plugs the tube up, so I'm gonna have to put a different knife on there. Well, for how yesterday went, I'm not gonna complain about a hose popping off and plugging up a tube on a knife. That ain't no big deal. Alright, my tank is empty, so I'm gonna go out and switch it. While I'm out, I'm gonna check all my knives, see if there's any of them that need changed. Haven't done any today, it's been a while. We've covered 90 acres or better, so we might have to change some knives while we're out. Alright, so what we're looking for on these knives is wear on the sides. This one here, you can see that little beaver tail that fits on there is gone. But the tube is not being worn into. Well, it is there a little bit. But not to the point where it's going to leak through. That one's close, but I'm not ready to replace it yet. This one looks good. That one looks good. This one here has got this vapor tube, the bigger one. And they seem to be wearing through up higher. But that one looks okay. Getting close, but it's okay for a little while. Well, you can see how much that has worn. Wow. I'll show you. Well, I don't know if I got a new one to show you, but yeah. This one here is also getting close. This tail is almost gone, and there's sides wearing through that tube on the side. But again, not quite ready to change that one. That one looks good. Okay. I think we're gonna have to change this one. So this is the other one that's got a vapor tube on it, and you can see here it's wearing through this big tube, and it's almost worn through there. So I am going to change that one. Worn through on this side as well. This one looks good. That one looks good. That one's lost its beaver tail, but not worn through the tube yet, so we're gonna let it go. As long as it seals okay, we'll let it go. That one's okay, and that one's okay. So we got a couple that are close and one that we need to change. Just finishing up the last pass here in this first field. It's 46 acres in this one. We're gonna jump across the ditch, do that one in the back. I believe there's 23 acres there. And then we've got 6 across the ditch that way. So take us probably a little over an hour here yet. Tank's empty. Hook up to the last one down here. We were doing good. We were having a good day. That's over with. That wings is not supposed to be angled like that. Huh. See that hinge? That's not good. Oh boy. Well, I told you we welded on those things several times, and we have. I've never had one break this bad before. That's all fresh break. That notch in the center is where the grease zerk was. It's shiny, so it's clean. Tore some on that one. Oh, this one's major, guys. Dang. Oh man, it tore the end of the tube right off. I don't know that we are going to be able to fix this, or how we're going to fix this. That's severe. Crap. Okay. Phil was just here. He picked up that tank that we had dropped by the road earlier today. So I called him. He's gonna unhook it and run back here. He'll be here in a few minutes, and I don't know. At a minimum, I think we're gonna have to get the backhoe down here to be able to lift this wing up. But I don't see how we're gonna weld that back together, so I'm not real sure here. This may be done for the year. We may have to find some other bar to use to finish. I don't know. Crap! We only got like 15 acres to do here. We would have been done too, dang it. Oh man, this is not good. Not good at all. It filleted that right open, so Dad's on his way down with a backhoe. We're gonna see if we can't lift that wing up and try and, I don't know, I think we're gonna have to take it off, but I really don't know. Feels like somebody's gonna have to come here, cut that piece off, and re-weld it. Whoa, man, guys. So we were waiting for Dad to come down here with a backhoe because I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do. We still haven't figured it out. Phil's calling somebody that might be able to come and fix it where it sits, which I think is our best option at this point. Look what I found while waiting. I don't know if that's a broken piece of one or the whole. It's got to be broken off some, but just a little one. All right, well, this is gonna be interesting here. We're gonna attempt to fold this thing. We got Dad down here with the backhoe, and we're gonna see if we can't get it folded together up and then chain it so that it doesn't fall off while it's folded to get it back to the farm. There's discussions being had about a new anhydrous bar and potentially finishing with 28 instead of anhydrous and all kinds of things. So you guys have been asking me what the next major purchase is going to be. Maybe an anhydrous bar. Lifting with the backhoe did nothing. There's a piece in there that's kind of wedged and pinching it in that it's not going to let it move. We were trying to lift it back into the cradle, or the hinge there, so that we could try and fold it up and chain it, and that's just not going to happen, so, or at least without cutting that piece off. So we're moving. We're going back over by the crossing here and getting it out of the field for now. Okay, well, we moved it where it's a little easier to get to, out of the field. Well, kind of out of the field. It's in a different field now, but easier to get to anyway. So I guess it's going to stay here for now, for tonight. We're going to figure out what to do here. Yeah, I don't know yet. Still haven't figured this out. Okay, well, here's where we're at. That hinge is broke. We've got somebody coming to look at it tonight, see if they can weld it up. Put a new tube on there for that pin to go through. The wing side of it looks okay. There's nothing damaged or bent there, so it's just a matter of fixing up the tube that the pin goes through on the main frame of the bar. We'll see. Guy acted like he might be able to get it done and up and running for us tomorrow, which would be awesome. So if we can do that, and we can get done here, and then we'll reevaluate where we're at with our anhydrous stuff when we're done with this, this year's stuff, and if we want to do something different for next year, we might do that. So I'm going home early tonight. It's about 6 o'clock. I'm going home. We're gonna work on my stone some more and my landscaping project, and then we'll get started in the morning. I think if that guy's fixing that tomorrow, which if he's fixing it tomorrow, I'm gonna do some spray, and I've got some fungicide I'm gonna spray on some corn, so I'm gonna do that. You guys will get to see what the sprayer is like. If he's not gonna be able to fix that, we're gonna spend the morning finding an anhydrous bar or some way to finish the nitrogen on our corn. Yeah, so anyway, I guess that's all for today. It was going good. It was going good right up until it wasn't. How it goes, right? So anyway, questions or comments, leave them down below. If you would, hit that thumbs up button for me, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate that. That's what helps me out the most, that and you watching my videos. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Hope for a better day tomorrow.